Well, hello there, folks. Hopefully, some folks got this that I'm doing this. This is a hastily scheduled stream because I have something that I really want to show off, and also I figured out a new trick in OBS that I also wanted to try out. So, shout out to Dan from AVS or Avenue Studios for that because it's really going to be fun. So, if you have a comment or two to share, I might have some fun for you in that. But today, I want to be talking about the Dragonbane Bestiary, or Bestiary, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I found out watching the Cypher Unlimited stream this week that apparently the American pronunciation is Bestiary, but it's spelled Bestiary. I don't know. I'm just going to say Bestiary, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh well. Anyway, but this is for the Dragonbane Bestiary. It is really, really cool. I wanted to show it off, and I have two cameras set up here. So I wanted to see if that's actually going to function too. So I have a lot of little toys I am going to be playing with today, and this should be kind of fun. So first off, let's take a look at my overhead cam. When one checks out, when one creates a new scene, one should remember to put in an audio source. So thank you so much for that one. Let's go back over to the overhead. So this is where we got the overhead, and thank you to Bad News Chris for showing me that the audio is gone. So that's my new toy. Isn't that cool? I have a new toy. I can put live stream comments on now. So that kind of makes me happy. Anyway, so the audio should be back now. Hopefully that's working well. But this is Dragonbane Bestiary. Very cool looking book. It is stitch binding. Gorgeous cover art. They did say in their release that a lot of the artwork that's in here was from one of the previous versions of the game. But man, it is gorgeous. So I'm really excited to show this to you. One of the neat things about the Dragonbane Bestiary as I open it up is the same thing that's true for Dragonbane. All this stuff here, all the flair, all the decorations, that's all hand drawn. It's gorgeous, and you can see, the design language from the Dragonbane core book, really pops out. Still has those really interesting, neat tables. Has good call outs. You can see that there are a whole bunch of new kin to play. In addition to the normal ones, you now have the orc and the ogre, frog people, Karkaron, which I think is a bird type, cat people, lizard people, and a satyr. So that's kind of fun. You expand your ability to play in this world just a little bit. Yes, thank you, Grimwood Games, for the compliment of such great art. I thought you said such great start with my lack of audio. I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious. Yeah, the artwork is incredible, Dave. It really is absolutely amazing. So let's take a look at some of it. So again, you can see this sweet. Every one of the chapters is like this. So if I go to the table of contents, and let's see, Rare Kin is chapter 2 is page 16. You can see it's got the same type of layout. It's really, really nice to go through. Let's look at some of this. There's a cat person for Dragonbane. That is a lot of fun. You can see that there are rules for it to be an NPC, but then you also have the ability 9 lives to get the first and last name for it, and you can set up as a player character. So that's really kind of cool. There are, I believe, 9 new playable backgrounds that you can play here. So Kins is the language that they use for this. Centaur is a monster. But just look at the artwork. The artwork is so good, which is why I wanted to show this off. And little things like this. This is part of the Dragonbane core book too, but you can see that the header up here, the way they have the page number down here in the footer, just absolutely beautiful with the title there. Neat. I do need to get another Mevo Start so I can have a 1080p camera looking down with a short focal distance, but really neat. I am very impressed with this. I think the Frog People would be a fun race to play, by the way. Very, very cool. So, how did I miss this announcement? Hi, Wes. There he goes. Wingus, you missed it because I only set it up about 15 minutes ago. So thank you for popping on at all. We're looking at the Dragonbane Bestiary. This is really cool. These are frog people. I mean, they're neat. I'm geeking out over a book. It's so much fun. It really is lovely art. So one of the things that's interesting about, let me get over to my main camera. So one of the things that's interesting about Dragonbane is that if you get into a monster fight where monsters are not run as NPCs, this is going to be a real quick stream because I can already hear my little one talking. But if you get into a monster fight where you're not dealing with a monster that is run like an NPC, you're in deep trouble. You really have to think strategically because the monster damage can just one-shot you constantly if the GM rolls really high. And so you're going to have to constantly back up, try to take melee or missile attacks instead of melee attacks. And if you want to take a melee attack, you got to make sure you put this thing down because you do not want to give up your ability to parry or dodge. It's really, really fun. It's so dangerous. I like it, but it's not dangerous in a, hey, this is all going to kill you. It's dangerous in this fun, wild, completely random way, which I really like. Let's get back to looking at the book here. So there is not a lot of overt lore in the book. What they do have is in the preface, it's Theodora Sneezewort, who is one of a kind. I believe is a halfling who is doing the write-up for this. And the whole idea is that Theodora was going out to catalog all these creatures, and you found the manuscript after they had gotten basically TPK'd by a couple of creatures here. So every write-up of a creature, every opening, let me get to the opening here. So that's an essay by her. And then the write-ups for each of the characters before you get to the mechanical stuff is going to be done in character as though you were in world. And I love these quotes at the top here. So you have someone who's a caravan guard. There are people who are called know-it-alls. There's some snarky ones like this person's a genius, which is really, it adds to the fun of reading the book. So very, very fun. Here it is. Malcolm Berg, Know-It-All, about the Karkaron, who is the flying cat person. So kind of fun. It's neat stuff. And Wingus, let's get Wingus's comment up here. Watch this, Wingus. There's your comment. Oh, that's way too long. That's going out of the way. So got to go short if you want me to get you in. I need to make that a little bit taller for the long comments. I'm living and I'm learning. I just like the fact that I can put the comments up now. I mean, that's a nice little touch. Thank you, Dan from Avenue Studios, for pointing out how you did that in one of your streams. Lizard folk are really cool. But then you get into some of the killer ones like chimeras. The Brook horse, which is kind of like a murderous horse. It just wants to kill you. If you're watching Delicious in Dungeon, there was a murderous water horse in that. Very cool. There's a neat section on dragons. So let's get to that one. The giants are really cool too, but let's look at dragons on 124. Oh, giant spiders. Page through as we get there. I mean, look at these. Look at this artwork. It is gorgeous. I want VTT tokens for all this artwork. And you can get it. You can get the Foundry expansion for it. I do believe. I have it for the core book. Pegasus is so nice. Sea serpent, really, really cool. I will play as a horse now. Let me just put this up. Bad news, Chris. I'm going to play as a horse now. Okay. A murderous horse. I don't think that's one of the playable kins, but we can hack that in for you. Why not? We'll see what happens. I like the way they handle werewolves. Very fun. All right, let's get to 124 and the dragons. So one of the things that I thought was interesting in the Dragons and Demons, or the Dragonbane core rulebook, was that, and I love that opening artwork for dragons. Let me go to my main. So you know the basic story of dragons versus demons from the core rulebook. You had the dragons were creatures of law and order, and then you had the demons who were just creatures of utter chaos. And I don't even think you would say that the dragons were law; they were just more order. But in the book, they're just presented as monsters that want to eat you, which is fine because that's what dragons are most of the time. And you don't understand like what was going on, like what is this dragon empire. You have some of that background as to what that dragon empire is in the adventure book for Dragonbane, which I had not read because I was trying to do other things before I got it. So you got it in that. And there is some more here in the Dragonbane Bestiary. So if you're ever confused about the lore of that, read the adventure book from the box set. You'll get a lot more background and understand it. And then it fleshes it out, some of the dragons even more here in this book, which is really, really cool. Foundry module, Bestiary, 20.81. Thank you. Is that a separate purchase, Dave, or is that one that is included on the original? I think it's probably a separate purchase. I do need to buy it. So really cool. But let's go back over to the overhead. So let's look at some of the dragons here because they mix this up so nice, and you get a little bit more into the personality of the dragons and why it is that they were opposed to demons. It wasn't that they loved all the other squishy races. It was that they were tired of the demons messing up all the stuff that they made because it screwed up their hoards of treasure. Yep, separate purchase, Dave says. Let's put that up there. So, yes, separate purchase for the Dragonbane Bestiary Foundry VTT. Thank you so much, Dave. I do need to pick that up because I am going to be playing Dragonbane at some point in the relatively near future. One of my campaigns is going to come to a close for the current story, and we are going to play Dragonbane for a while, and maybe we'll revisit my basic fantasy world in a little while. Very, very fun stuff. And the random table attacks for your dragons and your monsters inside Dragonbane is just a fantastic concept. I love everything about it. Then you can see how many hit points the dragon has, 84, and realize it's probably not the highest resolution. I do need to get another Meebo start. Maybe that'll be a purchase I get this year. I could put my camera up, but the focal distance is so... The field of view and the focal distance is too deep for me to stick it in front of my desk like this. I mean, this is only a couple feet off the ground, if that. Ancient dragons. I love the ancient dragons look like hillsides. Fun stuff. The lindworm, which is like the dragon cousin that nobody wants to pay attention to. They don't like them. Then we get to the demons. You explain a little bit more about demons, what their attitude is, but you have a whole lot more of them, and demons are terrifying. They got poison. They got all sorts of wild stuff to take you out, and they're going to come after you. So Wingus says, try solo first for Dragonbane. It's best game for solo. I go over to camera. I do want to try the solo rules if I can figure out a time to actually do it. That's something that's been on my mind for a very long time. In fact, I had gotten the Foundry module. And I should point out, this is a review copy that I got from Free League, and I checked that off in my box, but I do want to point that out in the stream. And I had asked for the Foundry module so I could review it and check it out and do some stuff that to demo solo play. That was the idea. I'm getting so distracted. It's Sunday afternoon. I probably should not try doing this because I really want to go to bed. But so I did get it. And I do want to try solo play. That's the whole point. Anyway, let's go back to looking at the book. And then bad news, Chris. Can we say that dragons have more types of, or Dragonbane has more types of dragons than 5e itself now, which I find that relatively humorous. Let's see if I can make that chat show up a little bit better. Let's expand the height of that. Height, bring my thing down here, we're going to put that down to 400. Okay, and let's see if I can get all the text in now. Almost. Got to probably go to 450. You guys get to be beta testers. Isn't that fun? There you go. Yay. Solo demo would be great. Yes, it would be. It really would be. I think that would be a lot of fun. Thanks for being here, Dan. And this works really well. Although now I got to figure out, maybe I should put this. Does that look bad when I have my hand over it? That's why I put it at the top there. I think that works out okay. Very cool. I'm very happy. And then I can make it taller and it will put stuff in. So that's fun. Anyway, golems are actually in the demons section for some reason, which I don't quite understand. They did explain it, but there it was. Guardian demons, which are terrifying because they just sit there and guard places and they come after you. Shadow demons, which are not Balrogs. There actually aren't Balrogs. They're like insubstantial. And then teeny cute little index at the back. Isn't that fun? I like that. Just here's all the creatures that you can have and that cute little dragon on the back. So for going back to bad news, Chris, thank you for watching, by the way. Can we say that Dragonbane now has more types of dragons than 5e itself? I don't think so, because we only have age categories in Dragonbane, and there's no colors, whereas D&D 5e's got, well, D&D has colors, chromatic and metallic, and then age categories too. So they have a ton of dragons. I think the dragons in this game are more fun, though. I will definitely say that. So anyway, this is just kind of a quick look at this. There's the neat spine. Let's see if I can bring it there so you can all see it. And I'll get rid of bad news Chris's thing. There's the spine. There's the back cover with the blood demon on the back. You can see the awesome hand-drawn drop cap. I mean, there's just everything about this book. Everything about Dragonbane itself is such a wonderful piece of art. It really is. I mean, everything about this with the Lindworm there, it's so, so, so cool. I'm going to be doing a more full review of this to look at the breadth and the new kin and the layout and all that. I just wanted to do a quick look at this to show you the design. And the book is I flipped through instead of just putting out showing you PDFs and a review. Because PDFs are so easy to capture and show you a little bit of a layout. Look at that goblin picture. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, just the wolf he's riding. So cool. So, so, so cool. And Dave, yeah, you do need to get together a group to run Dragonbane. And I don't like to dump on 5e. It's a game I do like to play. I hate running it. I had no fun by the end of my campaign. I was having no fun running 5e, just because and it was on me. I couldn't get my head around it. I couldn't get my head around how to make it challenging. And I know people can, and they do a good job with it. It does not think the way I think. Dragonbane does. So that was kind of cool. And you got Dragonbane on the Agranak Discord. Cool. Send out an invite. Put it on my Wingus. Put it on my DM Tales website and through the contact page, and I'll make sure that it gets out into my chat that Wingus is telling us to join the Agranak Discord. I don't even know what that is. You have to put a description of what it is at the time. But anyway, that's my quick look. I'll be doing a more full review at some point in the near future. I should go get it because I want to show you the other book. The book I'm going to do my full review on next is actually going to be the Ninth World Bestiary for Numenera, which this book here, the Dragonbane Bestiary, is the second best bestiary I've ever read. That is only because the bestiary for the Ninth World Bestiary is the best I've ever read. And the reason why is because they leaned into Numenera's concept of make it weird. So things are kind of normal, and then they tweak it like 4 degrees, and it freaks everything out. And there were two creatures inside the Dragonbane Bestiary that the week after I read them, it changed the whole nature of the adventure that the characters were on. And I should actually write this down because it was my last session to Numenera. So the Numenera Bestiary has a shapeshifter where they have to eat the person that they're copying, at least part of them. And one of the main characters in his write-up said he was following an adversary, and he determined that it was going to be his aunt who had become corrupted by the synthetic fertilizer she was creating from Numenera, which is the leftover of the previous worlds, and discovered in our last session that his aunt had been eaten by this thing, and that it was the person running around in her body or in her face was doing all this drug lord stuff and had turned his village to stone, all sorts of cool stuff. And he responded very well. He was just like, "Yeah, we're done," and he took her hostage, rolled really well. I tried offering a GM intrusion to see that she got away. I guess this will be a fun character to keep around. He's like, "Nope, I refuse it," and paid the experience point. If you know how Cypher system works, a GM can alter the narrative a little bit. You get a reward for it if you allow it to happen, but if the players don't want it, they can pay back. Pay an XP and say, "Nope, this is going the way that I want it to go." And yeah, he just stabbed her in the throat because he was not happy with her. We're going to have to see what repercussions that's going to have. It was really fun because he got locked down in a chair and she was going to eat him to escape town because the heat was getting too high. Anyway, that is the Ninth World Bestiary, which is my next. Yeah, he responded well. Took her hostage. Yeah. Well, I mean, for the situation, it was an appropriate response. But that's the Ninth World Bestiary. That's going to be my next full review to look at. It's got Monte Cook's typical design language, real good quality book. Funky, bizarre, sometimes disturbing creatures in there. A lot. One of them was Bane from Batman, and that's what I had to do a distraction. He was like throwing people against walls. It was awesome. That's that. But this is right after that. I will be doing this book because this is really cool. Following that, and I can't see it on my desktop right now. Oh, it's down here. Let me go here. So following that, right there, I'm going to be doing Godforsaken, which is the fantasy supplement for Cypher System. So I got a lot of Cypher System coming up because I also have the Origin, which is the coolest take on superhero style role-playing games that I've ever seen. So I'm really happy about that. I do want to point out two more things about this bestiary. I see your intrusion and I raise you by 1. Yes, that's exactly it. So that's how Numenera, that's how Cypher System works. It's very, very good. That's the perfect way of putting it. I see your intrusion and I raise you by 1. Want to point out two more things with the Dragonbane Bestiary. One is a knock, one is an absolute celebration. Let me see if I can get this in here. Where is it? Go. Oh, I'm trying to put it into my camera. There we go. There is no book ribbon. So that's my one knock on the book, is that there's just no book ribbon. And I love my book ribbons. So I just have to point that out because it depresses me. But the celebration, if you notice on this, you can see shadows from my camera because the way that my light is. I need to get another light over here. But there's a wall right next to me, a window actually. This is flat paper. They printed this on the same type of flat paper that the core rulebook is printed on. Oh my gosh. Give it to me. Give me can every TTRPG, let me put it on main camera because I have to do this in person. Please, every TTRPG publisher everywhere, I am begging you as someone with old eyes who glare gives me a terrible headache and wears glasses, stop using the glossy paper. It's terrible. It doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel good at all. And it just, you can't, it makes the art pop, sure, if you have perfect lighting. But if you take it anywhere where like the sun is shining or you put it in a studio, all you get are like hot spots where you literally have to keep constantly moving the book to be able to read it. Please put it in flat paper. Everyone, just go flat paper. It weighs less. It's cheaper. Just do that. It's good. Try it. You'll like it. I like it. That's my rant for today. And also I lost an hour of sleep, so I'm really really grumpy, and the fact that this is light paper is putting me in a good mood. That's a hard thing to do. Legit flat gives a great and unique look. Isn't that the truth? Absolutely. We're just gonna rant. We should start a movement and just be like flat paper people. Flat paper people. That would be interesting. Anyway, book ribbon, and then bad news, Chris. Book ribbon is a sacred item. I can't I can't argue with that. It's a yeah. It's pretty good. Whatever your faith is, it's a sacred item. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed paging through this. I cannot wait to do a much more thorough review of it. I'm glad that I got to get this out here. If you want, we have an acronym, FPP for life, flat paper people for life. Very good, Wingus. I have no idea. Now I have no idea what I was saying because I've lost an hour of sleep. It's Sunday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon, usually my brain turns off and I shouldn't be trying this. So if somebody go back in the review and tell me what I was talking about before I got distracted. But this is a lot of fun. If you have a chance to look at it and pick it up, I'm glad I got to put this out early while people are still fresh on their mind that this came out within a month. A beautiful book. And the cool thing is that they also came out with the core rule book in the same format, and they're under $50. So I'm going to be purchasing the core rule book in the near future. It'll probably be either my next YouTube payout or Father's Day, whichever comes first. So watch lots of ads on my channel, because I'll be getting that to put it on the shelf together. I love the box set. The box set has the absolute best quality, like just sheer volume of content that I've ever seen in a box set. But the hard thing with box sets is that you need to take them down on the shelf and open them up to get everything set up. And then your cool rule book, it takes a little bit more effort to come out. And there's the little one that shows the timing of the stream coming to an end. How you doing there, buddy? You need help? I will come and help you. I'm going to shut this down. We're talking to people live. Can you wave hello? You want to wave hello?
How are you talking to them even though they're not talking?
Well, see this chat over here where they're talking? That's them. I can put it up on the screen. So that's them, and they're watching. Kind of like the way you watch YouTube and no one and you can't necessarily talk back to them. That's the same way. So I'm going to say goodbye to these folks, and then we are going to go. I'm going to go help you out because it's Mario Day, and we're playing Super Mario Odyssey, aren't we?
Yay!
Okay, you go out there, and I'll be right there.
Is it morning time?
It is afternoon time. Yay. Someone is home sick today. You can tell. Yes, Avenue Studios. Hey, it's Wes's boss. When you have it, let's go. Yep.
Don't even call me Bump.
Shh. Okay. See you, buddy. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I had a blast, and I'll be talking to you soon with my next video coming up. Hopefully this week I'll get to write it and review it. It's been percolating in my brain. And also, if you are able, April 12th through 11th down in Palmyra, New Jersey, or 12th through 11th, 12th through 14th down in Palmyra, New Jersey. We have EcclesiaCon, 3 days of gaming, Friday evening, Saturday all day, Sunday afternoon. He will be playing No Thank You Evil with me on Sunday. If you want to meet this guy, that should be a lot of fun. All right, folks, until we see each other again, can you say happy playing, everyone? You're not.
Happy Mario Day.
Happy Mario Day. Happy playing, everyone.